Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne Remastered. The original released back in 2003, with this remaster coming out in 2020. Available for PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and Steam, retailing for $49.99. SMT3 is a JRPG. You control your protagonist in battle, and various demons that you recruit and fuse along the way. It is similar to Pokemon, but each of your demons has more than 4 attacks, and rather than being animals, they are various characters and creatures from mythology across the world. The game starts with the protagonist and a small group of his friends going to a shockingly empty hospital. Shortly thereafter, the apocalypse happens, and it would seem that the only humans that survived the apocalypse are the people that were in the hospital, so you, your group of friends, and a couple of others. And despite the fact there are monsters and demons and whatnot running around, everyone pretty much separates and does their own thing. This arguably works out well for the protagonist, as the protagonist has an encounter with a being, possibly Satan, and implants him with some kind of demon bug that makes our protagonist the demi-fiend.
Do not be afraid. My little master has taken an interest in you. Pitiful human though you are, he wishes to grant you a gift. It is vital that you receive it, and I'm afraid you have no choice. Please try not to struggle. It will only hurt for an instant. Enjoy your last moments as a human.
Not quite human anymore, not quite fully a demon. Something in the middle, having the best of both worlds. As the demi-fiend, you can select how your stats grow, and you can select what abilities you learn based on your equipment. And you can also do the major thing in this game, recruit demons. Basically, you try to talk to a monster you encounter in battle. If they are willing, you have a little conversation, answer a couple questions, and maybe they join you, maybe they don't. Maybe they try to extort money or items from you before they join you. Many things affect if a demon will join you, including the current phase of the moon, which also affects virtually everything else in this game. How hostile demons are going to be, how powerful they're going to be, and what's going to happen when you fuse 2 demons. Because unlike later games in the series, you don't get to select what skills the result of a fusion will have. Each phase of the moon will have a different selection of skills coming from the 2 parent monsters. So you'll spend a lot of time outside of the Cathedral of Shadows trying to get the moon at the right phase. And sometimes you'll find out that you can't actually get all the skills you want to take, which can be a little frustrating. It's worth noting that the demons you recruit usually learn new skills as they level, and sometimes can even become different demons if you level them enough. But what 2 demons will produce when they're fused together is pretty much locked in. Only the skills that it might have are subject to change. Now, as the apocalypse happened, there aren't very many other humans around the world. And this is unfortunate, because the various kinds of demons that are in the world have lots of ideas about what the world should be reborn as. But in order for the world to be reborn, a demon can't do that on its own. No. They need the help of a human to actually make it happen. So various factions of demons that have like-minded ideas try to recruit both you and your friends as you encounter them on rare occasions, to remake the world in the image they desire, such as a world where the strong dominate, or one where the weak are protected, or possibly a world of peace and neutrality, and several other options. At points in the game, you will make decisions. These decisions will determine what the world will be like when you finish the game. But there is one action you can take that will completely override any other decisions you've made. You can access a optional dungeon in the game. You get menorahs from fighting optional bosses in the world, and these menorahs unlock more of this optional dungeon. And going there is worthwhile, as there's a lot of good treasure there, and it's a great place to level. However, if you actually finish this dungeon, it locks you into one of the endings. And there is no taking that back, so if you want to finish that optional dungeon, know that there's only one ending you will see. I did not know that at the time of playing, and honestly, little annoyed to find that out the hard way. Speaking of the hard way, this is a fairly difficult game, and most of the boss encounters do require you to use some strategy with your skills in order to survive them. On all platforms, there is a free DLC available called Merciful Difficulty, and I do not recommend playing the game on Merciful Difficulty. It makes it an absolute joke to play. But if you're just interested in seeing how the various endings play out, maybe it's for you. So, is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne Remastered worth your time and money? Well, it's a $50 game on digital storefronts that lasts 50 to 100 hours, depending on how much side content you want to do, so there certainly is some value for your money. In addition to that, you might want to play through the game several times in order to see the various endings that are on offer, or simply play through using completely different demons than you used the last time, as there are a ton of different demons to play with and experiment with. In addition to having different teams, you can also shape the protagonist however you like, so there is some benefit to going through the game using various stat builds. And if you're unsure about paying $50 for this game, it can be found physically for much cheaper than $50. I found a brand new copy of this game for PlayStation 4 for only $20. And that didn't require any real hunting on my part. I just happened to walk into a game shop, and it was sitting there brand new for $20. The SMT series in general is kind of a more advanced version of Pokemon. Your various demons have more attacks. You have a full party of them in battle rather than just using them one at a time. And in general, things are much less cutesy here than in the Pokemon series. So if you're a fan of JRPGs, or a fan of the Pokemon series in particular, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is definitely a great place to find something that'll be right up your alley. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.